What up, Pink Lady Seabirds? Happy birthday to my name is Jimmi Pynk, and no, I don't have the desire to turn on any lights. It's really, really late. I don't even know if anybody's coming to this live, but I'm like extremely hyped up, and I'm gonna do an actual video about it tomorrow. But I just watched history in the making. I watched history happen, and it was amazing. I couldn't tear myself away from it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch it for a little bit, then I'm gonna watch it till it gets to the point where it needs to be. And the shit that happened was just so fucking legendary. What's going on, Omar? The shit that happened was so goddamn legendary. I couldn't leave till it was over. So I don't plan on getting a whole bunch of people at 2 o'clock in the morning. So let me state my piece. Also, it's hot in here, so I need my fan. So I came home and I'm just fucking around on Twitter like you do. Yeah, like you do. And I go on Twitter and D Nice is trending. Now I know, hey Chris J, I know a lot of y'all are not hip hop fans like I am, or even the age that if you would have known this person's song he had by himself, that you would know it. So D Nice is trending. Now D Nice is the DJ for Boogie Down Productions, which is huge, important hip hop group. KRS-One, if you know anybody from it, you would know KRS-One. So I'm like, D Nice is trending. Well, I got to click on this because, like, why is D Nice trending? And it was, he's doing this live stream on Instagram. He's been on since 2 o'clock. I think I got there at like 8. He's been on since 2 o'clock. You got to see it. You got to see it. He been doing it for 5 days, but like it built up. But it had gotten to a point where he was going to get 100K people, and he was basically just streaming because people were quarantined. He was just doing mixes and shit like that. When I tell y'all the names that strolled through that bitch, it was history. It was some shit that you will never see ever again. You're not going to see that shit again unless it's a award show. You wouldn't see this many people at an award show. And it had gotten to the point where you had lots of celebrities was there. Usher was there. Queen Latifah was there. Kelly Rowland was there. And I'm trying to like play it down a little bit. No, because I wasn't even drinking till I was watching this, because it was like this global quarantine party. Hey, Jerry. It was this like global quarantine party. I didn't say shit to you, Siri. This global quarantine party that he's been having for like 5 days. But today, for whatever reason, it just blew up. Naomi Campbell was there. Queen Latifah was there. Salt and Pepper came through. Rod Digger came through. Little Kim came through. It gets better. Michael Bivins came through. Ronnie DeVoe came through. Ricky Bell came through. Bobby Brown came through. It progressively got bigger. So it was like Lala. Then it was Carmelo Anthony. Then it was like Odell Beckham Jr. Then it was like Mike Tyson. And it was all these people that came through. And it kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Rashida Jones, which then Quincy Jones came. Stevie Wonder was there. Obviously, somebody is typing for him. It's Instagram. But Stevie Wonder was there. And before he gets to 100K, Michelle Obama came. He hits 100K. After Michelle Obama, Mark Zuckerberg is there. Joe Biden is there. Bernie Sanders comes. Elizabeth Warren comes. Kamala Harris comes. Cory Booker comes. Like, it was just some shit that I'm like, these are people that said. Ellen was there. Jimmy Fallon was there. Justin Timberlake was there. Just the way that it spread and just connected with people. And it was really just this whole thing of this DJ who, unless you're a super hip hop head, you would never know who he was unless you were enough of a hip hop head to know who he was. To start this thing 5 days ago, do this, Black Thought was there, which is I'm sure how Jimmy Fallon got there, like Questlove and shit like that. But it was a lot of older people there. It was never very like young celebrities there, like King Combs there came, but that's because Diddy came. It was history. And then you had a live stream that hit 100K. Mark Zuckerberg came and fixed it so that, when you're on Instagram, you only get a certain amount of time. He fixed it once he came in and seen what the guy was doing, and he wasn't trying to advertise nothing. He wasn't trying to raise money. It wasn't nothing like that. He was just like, we all in this together. I'm a DJ. People got to be in the house. I'm just going to do this. Because I missed DJing for people because he's done it since he was 15 years old and he's probably 50-something now. So, and it was just amazing. Charlemagne the God was there. Usher, Alicia Keys came through. Swiss Beats came through. And once people started paying attention and then it started becoming newsworthy, which it was already becoming newsworthy before Michelle got there. But then she did, hey, Alan Lewis, and then she did get there. And then once both your Democratic candidates rolled through that bitch, like it was fucking crazy. Bruno Mars showed up. There wasn't very, very many rappers of this era. Tierra Whack did show up. Aminé, which was actually a shock to me. The dude who had like the one song, I forgot what it was, Yellow, Delilah, whatever the fuck, he had like a one-hit wonder. He was there. But for the most part, it was like this really old school group. And it was just this guy playing music and just saying, like, we all in this together. It was amazing. I couldn't even get off because I couldn't, on this Chromebook, I couldn't get Instagram on the Chromebook because I couldn't remember how to log into it. Because, it's like automatically set on my phone. So I couldn't, like, really tell nobody about it or live tweet about it or nothing like that because I was too busy listening to it. It was amazing. It was breathtaking. It was like, I can't believe I'm part of this history. World Star Hip Hop was there. ESPN it came in. BET Music it came in. Like to the point where it was networks. Mark Zuckerberg was just fucking sitting there chilling. I'm like, yeah, probably because he wondering how the fuck did you do this? Ava DuVernay was there. Ruth Brown was there. Eric Dyson was there. Like I said, Odell Beckham, Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, it came through there. Buju Banton, which if you know anything about dance hall is like legendary. That's like Jay-Z showing up to your shit. He was there. Will Smith was there. Dougie Fresh was there. Teddy Riley was there. This is a fucking live stream, folks. This wasn't some star-studded event where you had to fucking be there. This is a live stream. Rihanna came through. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of these people might have only been there for like 5 minutes. And if it was somebody that had a big enough name, he would be like, well, if they're here, we got to play their song. Justin Timberlake slid through. Charlie Puth slid through. Sarah Paulson slid through. Halle Berry was there. But once it got to the point where Michelle Obama was there, that was shock enough that Michelle Obama was there. But at the end of the day, it wasn't that much of a shock to me because Michelle and Barack. Because, I mean, I'ma just keep it a buck. That's what even shocked me even more. He was playing black music, y'all. Y'all keep wanting to say there ain't such thing as black music. He was playing black music and brown music. Because he from the Bronx. So when we used to DJ in like the Latin Quarter and shit, if y'all ever seen anything about fucking hip hop. So, we was listening to some salsa merengue. We was listening to music from all over the world. We was listening to some Buju Banton came in. We was listening to some reggae. We was listening to some reggaeton. We was listening to some salsa merengue. But basically, when Justin Timberlake came on, he played Suit and Tie. I was like, so he played the song with Jay-Z on it. And, he was doing it very, very well. Like we are doing this for the world. He did do a tribute to Kenny Rogers. But guess what? Black people fuck with Kenny Rogers. We love Kenny Rogers. I'm sad Kenny Rogers died. On the way home from my parents' house today, they had did because they always got a 80s weekend. They had played Islands in the Stream, and I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm like, Islands in the Stream still fucking slap. And I was listening to that shit. Islands in the Stream still fucking slap. Lenny Kravitz was there. They had played a couple. Fat Joe was there. Like, I can't even remember and name everybody was there. Some shit that I like just like taped my phone a little bit because I was like, y'all gotta see this shit. It's unbelievable. Amara, what happened is DJ D Nice, which I know a lot of y'all are not gonna know who that is unless you are like a super duper hip hop fan of my era. You probably would not even know who that is. But he's been doing live streams, DJing ever since like people have been under quarantine. And today it just caught a fever pitch. He broke history. His stream had 100K. All these celebrities was just coming in the live stream and supporting. And he wasn't doing it to raise money, and he wasn't doing it to make money, nothing like that. It really just was like, we going through this together. I'm used to playing music. I like doing this. I've been doing this since I was 15 years old. I love doing this. This is something I can do so people can take their minds off of things. And it had just caught a fever pitch. Stephanie Mills was in that bitch. DJ Premier was in that bitch. Dougie Fresh was in that bitch. LL Cool J was in that bitch. Salt and Pepper, Queen Latifah. Eve was there. Lil' Kim was there. Missy was there. It was insane. Omarosa was there. She ain't get that much love, but you know. And do I think once it got to a certain point, once Michelle Obama was there, and it was now like newsworthy. Joe Biden was there. Bernie Sanders was there. Elizabeth Warren was there. Now, these are people that ain't even running for president again. Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, Elizabeth Warren, all came and showed up. What's her name? There was other politicians that's like that we've heard about. And it could have been a celebrity from any realm, any genre. Donnie Wahlberg showed up. Donnie Wahlberg and Jenny McCarthy was there. Rashida Jones was there, which Rashida Jones is probably who went and got her dad because then Quincy Jones was there. Teddy Riley, it came. Every member of BBD was there, plus Bobby Brown. They had came. Timbaland was there at some point. Ninth Wonder had came at some point. Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick both was there at some point, separately. At some point, people were leaving and coming back because he did it for 9 hours. He was breaking a record. So he did it for 9 hours. It was just insane. He was playing great music. But like when you would see who was coming into the room, because you know on Instagram you could see when people are coming in. Taraji P. Henson was there. Nia Long was there. Like I said, Sarah Paulson had came in. Dude to play Ghost on Power was there. But for the most part, and I hate to put it to you like, but some people I'm like, yeah, y'all came in because it was fucking newsworthy. Some of them people just really came in like, well, what the fuck is D Nice doing? Like, what, for real? Like I said, like Kelly Rowland was there. Jasmine Sullivan was there. Anthony Hamilton was there. Tank was there. Tyrese Gibson, it came in for a little bit. Anthony Mackie, who plays the Falcon in the Marvel movies, it came in. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. It was real black and brown, and those people were coming in because it was mostly black and brown music being played, and it was, even though he was doing this global thing, it was a real hip-hop, R&B, black and brown music heavy type affair. It was. And he didn't really compromise, with the exception of paying tribute to Kenny Rogers. Stevie Wonder, Quincy Jones, L.A. Reid. And a lot of these people was coming because Other celebrities was there out of love, and the shit just started spreading like, yo, you got to see this. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. He said that Black Thought and Naomi Campbell was there at least once every day, and he'd been doing it for 5 days. So I'm sure Black Thought probably told Questlove, and once they seen what it was, and you know, Michael Rappaport was there. It's certain people. They got an open invitation to the picnic. Like Michael Rappaport, don't shock me. Gary Owens, don't shock me. Kamala Harris and Cory Booker don't shock me. Y'all grew up on this music because he wasn't just playing just hip hop. He was playing like R&B, reggaeton, salsa merengue, like I said, but it was mostly like black and brown music. So it don't shock me it was there. Justin Timberlake showing up does not shock me because at the end of the day, whether we feel like what he did with Janet or not, that man is a fan of black music. Justin Timberlake fucking beatboxes. Come on. But you know, no doubt in my mind, Barry Sanders got in that bitch after Joe Biden was there. But it was just fucking crazy. It was crazy what this man did by just DJing from his fucking house. What he did was fucking insane. It was fucking insane. And it'll be in your major news outlets because some of them was there. Netflix showed up randomly. I was like, oh, yeah, y'all gonna like people like Ava DuVernay, Taraji P. Henson. Like, a lot of these people were coming in because they are just lovers of hip-hop and old school music, just like the rest of us was. They was just as curious as we was. Well, what the hell's going on? I want to see. He jamming like that. Tina Knowles was in there. Beyonce's mother was in there. No doubt because Kelly probably told her. It literally just spread. It was literally like people that knew people and it spread. This shit was fucking historic, dude. It was fucking historic. And I was there when he reached 100K. I had been there for 2.5, 3 hours when that happened. But I couldn't leave till he was done because people just kept coming in. Mike Tyson is here? Like, what the fuck? Halle Berry is here? Ellen is here? Which Twitch was there. So I'm sure Twitch probably was like, yo, you need to check this out. You know what I'm saying? Just like I'm sure Jimmy Fallon came in because Questlove was like, this shit is amazing. You need to see this shit. Especially if your friend is a fan of the music. Dig what I'm saying? We know Jimmy Fallon been doing that history of rap and shit like that. You don't take over the Tonight Show and say, I want my band to be the Roots if you're not a fucking fan of hip hop. So I'm sure once Black Thought was like, well, Questlove, you got to see this shit. I'm sure they was like, oh no, Jimmy got to see this shit. Because you know who your people are, who you work with, who your friends are that would appreciate the shit. I don't think in Ellen's case, nor Jimmy Fallon's case, it was like, you need to be on this first. I don't think so. I think it's like, you going to get a kick out this shit. It was fucking crazy. I can't even describe it to you. Like, the energy was just so positive and so full of love and so fun. And you could tell it was 100,000 motherfuckers that was really at home. Like, oh, this my shit. Putting their shit in, this and this and this and this and this and this, and was like, yes, 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 yes. And then going off and dancing into themselves, but we alone together. It was amazing. I was trying to figure out a way. I'm like, how do I live stream what I'm seeing and just live stream like the reaction to it that I'm having? But you know, they copyright struck that shit, the house down, boots, socks, shoes. It was fucking amazing. And I wish I would have been so tangled into it, but at the same time, I'm so glad that I was tangled into it because he had stopped after like 90 minutes and was like, I want to talk about, like, why we're here, this and this and this and this. For once in my life, I had forgot since this happened. For once, I had completely forgot we're all under a quarantine. And the reason why he was doing this is because people ain't out at the club and at the bars. I had completely forgot. I came home with full intentions of doing a live stream. I ended up on his for 6 hours. It was the distraction that people needed. And at the same time, I go to my parents' house. What up? My sister is here. My sister makes my dad some food because my sister don't eat salt. And my dad wanted some cabbage. I don't know how to cook cabbage. I really just started eating cabbage maybe like 9 months ago. That I started liking cabbage, but I don't know how to make it. So my sister was like, well, I'm making some cabbage. And I'm going to make enough, and he's not going to be able to eat it all. So you can have some. I need to get my Girl Scout cookies off of her. And also, she made this stuff when she first had her stroke. She said she ate it every day for 6 months because it was the only thing she could make for herself. And it's basically a vegetable soup. So she had made that for him too with no salt and stuff in it. And I was over there for a while. But my niece is sick. Got a fever, not a high one. So, of course, immediately I'm just like, oh, okay, here we go. Because the numbers in Mahoning doubled overnight, which is my county in Ohio. It doubled. And when I went to go get my blood work, somebody was in the back that they suspected of having it that was getting tested. So it was fucking weird. It was the distraction I needed. I did some videotaping of just off my phone. I'm going to do an actual video about that tomorrow. I would say I apologize for not doing Untucked, but I mean, I did it. I made it as an exclusive, and 7 people fucking watched it, and 2 of them people was me. So much for a Patreon exclusive, right? Anyway, I just wanted to express it was amazing. And he's going to do it again tomorrow. He's been doing it every day. He's going to do it again tomorrow. 3 o'clock Pacific time. That's 6 o'clock here. Fucking amazing. It's amazing. You have to think a lot of these celebrities were available to pop in and see what was going on. I mean, how could you not? Y'all can't go on tour. Y'all can't do what y'all want to do. People would leave and come back. A lot of people were there and just listening to the music because he was playing really good, really classic, really great music. And within me, music is really the great unifier. I bet you can't get 100,000 people to say the Pledge of Allegiance at the same time. I mean, hell, the state of Ohio only got, 117,000 residents? We got 117,000 residents in the state of Ohio. We can't even get them motherfuckers to sit their ass at home. So to have 100,000 people from mostly the United States, but all over the world, some of which are large celebrities. I mean, it was just like the celebrities that was there was legends. And then you had people that was bowing down to them. You got people like Diddy and Naomi Campbell shook because Michelle Obama or Quincy Jones was there. They shook at who there. George Clinton is here. Stevie Wonder is here. What? And these are people that we will be shook about. They legends they self. It was really global. And it really made it feel like we really felt like we all did this together, and music is the great unifier. Now, see, to us, Buju Banton is not a big deal. Unless, like, you from the islands or you just are really into reggae like that. But Buju Banton is on the level of a Jay-Z, a Biggie, or a Tupac as far as reggae is. Maybe even an LL. Maybe even a Rev Run from Run DMC. Big, major. Yeah. And it was amazing. Life-changing, I would say. Life-changing, I would say. Never thought I would see a pandemic. Never thought I would see no shit on Instagram like I saw tonight either. Michelle Obama came, and before Mark Zuckerberg came, because he came while Michelle Obama was there. And you know, you can only be on Instagram for so long and it shuts off. And they brought it back. And he was even saying, like, you gonna shut me off right when Michelle Obama came? And she came right back. And she came right back. You know, some of us going to live stream and it's shut down, like, oh, well, fuck it, it's over now. I'm going to go do this and this and this and this so they get set back up. No, she came right back just like the rest of us. She is a first fucking lady. Then when all them other people that came in, Stacey Abrams that came, like, it was legends from every genre where somebody could be a celebrity or a public figure. Every genre: politics, music, movies, TV, sports. J-Lo and A-Rod was there. Victor Cruz, Odell Beckham. Of course, Gabrielle Union was there, so D Wade showed up, but also Kyrie Best was there. It's another one, I can't think of his name. I mean, because it was just like so many people. But at the same time, for the most part, you could tell these are genuinely people that actually came in. Now, I definitely think Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden came in for political reasons. But Elizabeth Warren didn't. Kamala Harris didn't. Cory Booker didn't. I think Elizabeth Warren was probably more curiosity. But I think Kamala Harris and Cory Booker, they grew up on this music too. This is what's going on. Let me see. It was insane. And you did have people that, I mean, it was like DJs that y'all wouldn't give two nods to, but Tony Touch was there. Stretch Armstrong was there. Eric B from Eric B and Rakim was there. Mary J. Blige was there, because he would tell you like who was there before you got there. Like Mary J. Blige wasn't, but he had been doing it since 2:00 in the afternoon. He did it for 9 hours. 2:00 is my 5:00. So Mary J. Blige had came. I didn't get a chance to see Mary J. Blige. I did see Alicia Keys and Swiss Beats. Timbaland, Teddy Riley. One of the brothers from the Brothers Johnson was there, like Strawberry Letter 23. Philip Bailey had came in. One of the white brother is still alive from Earth, Wind, and Fire came. And then about an hour and a half later, Philip Bailey came in. It was literally, people were coming in like, what's going on? They're honoring music. Let me see what's going on. And they would like tell their bandmates or tell their other friends that are in music because they wanted to see this revolution happen. I don't think people were coming in with the exception of the people that had the political agenda, Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders. I really think that a lot of these people came in because this is the music they grew up on. I mean, we was also listening to Al Green and James Brown and George Clinton. These people grew up on this music too. People were here to see that. People were here to see that. People wanted to see history being made, celebrity or not. We all in the same gang, and we all in this together. And that's what it is. But that's that. I think people came in thinking I was going to talk about Drag Race. I'm not talking about Drag Race. I talked about Drag Race enough. I did a 3-hour live about Drag Race. And then still did the fashion review, which shockingly, not shockingly, was still 40 minutes long. Let me ask y'all this. Separate Vans, I'm not explaining it again. I'm sorry, baby. I've been explaining it for 30 minutes. You'll just have to watch it back from the beginning. But let me ask y'all this. I don't feel like turning on the lights and shit. I just was so still just hyped up from the moment in history that I've been a part of that I just needed to get that off my chest. But let me ask y'all something. No, I'm not going to ask y'all something. I'm going to give y'all a statement. And then I'm going to get to the point that I'm making. And it can kind of be a question. It kind of just be an observation that's up for discussion. You don't have a question right now. I'll come back to that. Don't have a question right now. Let me get this off. Episode 1 of RuPaul's Drag Race. 7 girls. Entrance look. Spring, fall runway. Even if you didn't count the performance as a look, we'll tuck that one away. We won't count that one. So we won't even count the performance look. Your entrance look, a spring and fall runway, and a runway look. That's 28. You got quote unquote 6 the next time. Entrance look. Spring, fall runway. We won't talk about the performance look per se. Runway look. That's 24. So you have 28 plus 24 looks. That's 52. You have your next episode. Your next episode is a runway. You got 13 more looks. Oh, I'm sorry. Nobody went home. 13? So you got 13 more looks. So 52 plus 13 is 75. I'm counting Allison in this because the math that I'm doing, you wouldn't expect that to happen to Allison. So I'm counting Allison's numbers in there. That's 75. Your very next episode is a ball. 12 people with 3 looks apiece. That's 36 more. 75 plus 36. Was it 75? Did I say that right? No. 24. No, I did. 28 plus 24 is 52. Plus 13 more is 75. Plus 36 more. Plus 36 more. So 75 plus 36, 100. What is it? 75 plus 36, 25, that would make 100. There's 16 more. We on episode 4. We didn't already seen 116 goddamn looks. We on episode 4. And I didn't include the performance outfits in the first episode or the second. So I'm not even counting the performance outfits. Which I can argue that we can't count because that's something that they had to bring too. They clearly was told this is the number that you're doing. I can count those too. And if I count those too, whoa, baby, we're already at 125 fucking outfits. We're over 100 outfits. And I ain't saying over 100 outfits, it's 101. We over 100 outfits already on the runway. We just finished episode 4. So I'll put it to you like this, and then that can be up for debate. RuPaul's Drag Race is becoming way too much about the goddamn looks. It's becoming way too much about the damn looks. We are on episode 4. We just finished episode 4, and we've already reviewed or looked at over 100 looks for each queen. And if I even count their performance looks, we at like 125. I don't count them. We at like 113, 112. If I count them, we at 125. If I don't count them, we at 113. 4 episodes. 4 episodes. I remember reviewing RuPaul's Drag Race. I wouldn't even get into 100 looks, even if I was reviewing their reunion and their finale looks. You would never even crack the 100. Getting a little bit too look-based, in my opinion. And math proves that. You think about season 5, 6, even 7. No, which one is 7? Which one the Violet? Oh, no, 7 is Bianca Del Rio. Even go to 7, because the ball was the top 5. You could not have cracked 100 looks, even with a reunion look and a finale look. You couldn't even crack the 100. Now we have well over 100 looks after the 4th episode. Yeah, Piper is kind of like, this is what I'm saying. I'm like, it's become all about looks. And as much as we want to fight and say, well, Evie Oddly won last year and Jinx Monsoon won, and we want to try to fight that it ain't about looks because every once in a while you threw a dog a bone. Where we're at on season 12, I've seen more looks than I would have seen on season 7 altogether. I still got 6 more episodes and a reunion and a finale. Now, granted, the reunion finale can sometimes be the same thing, but the reunion is still that look. And then they do their little number or whatever color they told them to wear. Then the look that they actually come out and do the interview. And then the top 3 at their own looks and then their performance looks. And even if you would have did that in the back gaze, shout out to Brian B. Even if you would have did that in the back gaze, you might have cracked 100. You might have cracked 100. I really sat down and thought about it because I was watching some other people's reviews earlier today. and everybody had to mention. Even Maddie Rance had put out a thing like, I don't even know if I want to do a rant and review. I might just want to do a review because there's so many looks. And I'm like, everybody is saying this shit. What's up, 1993? And I'm like, everybody is saying this shit like it's so many looks. This episode, it's been so many looks. The first episode that you meet a queen, their interest look is something that you review. They have to do a spring and a fall look. And if, like, again, if we're not, counting their performance look, and then the runway, each group 7 and 6, that was 4 looks apiece then. Yeah. 36 was a lot for one episode. But when you've already did 28 and 24, really ain't that much more. We've been doing a gang of fucking looks. Let me tell you something. I review it. I edit the shit. I know. 28 is a lot. 24 is a lot. We are used to doing, there's 13 queens. We're reviewing 13 fucking looks. Common fucking sense. Maybe your first episode, you're talking about interest looks. Because you get them first, I could have got that off. I had already reviewed everybody's interest looks. I can do that runway. But no, the challenge was, we've literally had, what was last week's episode? What was the challenge last week's episode? It was an acting challenge. Okay, it was an improv challenge. Okay. So in 4 episodes, the challenges have all been closed. Out of the challenges we had, all the challenges have been closed except for one. Piper, listen. When I did my review and I lost the review, and I realized the reason why my review was as long as what it was is because I was so goddamn tired doing it that I'm just like, be trying to say stuff. Like, it reminded me of, because I'm tired. There's a certain level of attention span. Now, what happens when you're the type of viewer that watches RuPaul's Drag Race and maybe you don't watch a review? Maybe you don't watch reviews. Oh, it's good business, but maybe you don't watch reviews. I didn't start watching reviews till season 5 because there wasn't none. Wasn't nobody reviewing RuPaul's Drag Race season 1. And that's a great point to make. Even though, yes, there is an elevation that I want to do for my channel. There's an elevation to do better on my channel. But it took me a very long time to even put fucking pictures of what the queens look like. Because I didn't need to. If you watch the fucking episode and watch the review back, you can remember what they had on. I don't need to show you a picture of what everybody had on once they get to top 8. You know, you just watched the episodes, you remember. But if everybody got on multiple goddamn costumes, you can't remember that shit. I can't remember it, and I'm taking notes on this shit, and look at the note. It's so much going on and so many looks, and it's going so fast that I'm taking this note. And the way I used to take notes would be like, the first note that I would always say is, this is what color they had on. Now, of course, when you have a runway where everybody got on orange, you can't do that. Or if everybody got on like one color, you can't do that. But it would be like, write the person's name. This is what color they had on. So at least that was a mental jog for me. That if I didn't have time to write all the notes, at least I would be like, okay, yeah, they had on this color. It wasn't a need for me to have a fucking picture next to it for me to review it. Y'all remember. Ain't been able to do that in a couple seasons. Because there keep being these challenges where you have to have multiple looks. Perfect example. Oh, yeah, you have to do the makeover challenge, but now you have to make a performance outfit too. That used to not be a thing. So even if that's the top 5 and that's only 10 outfits, It's been 6 episodes and we have to think about 10 outfits. It's an attention span thing. And honest to God, they better change that because it makes it hard to watch the show. Because if shit's not memorable, I'm keeping the buck with y'all. Because if shit's not memorable, and it's not memorable for somebody that's trained to fucking remember it, and when I tell y'all, y'all wouldn't believe me. Every episode of RuPaul's Drag Race, I did not even have a fucking drink until I turned the camera on. So I'm not even drinking through the episode. I haven't opened a beer. I haven't cracked a beer. I haven't had a bottle of wine. The very first episode I reviewed, I was drinking coffee. Wasn't even drinking alcohol at all. I was drinking coffee. The first episode of this season, and you go back and look at that review when I got on all that orange after my cousin's funeral and all that shit, I'm drinking coffee. It's a coffee mug. I ain't drinking alcohol. I wasn't trying to hide it. I drink alcohol in front of y'all all the time. I was drinking coffee. Because it was so much going on that I got in the 15 minutes of the episode and was like, I got to try to stay woke. I got to drink coffee. I was drinking coffee. If your reviewers can barely remember what somebody has on when they trained to go, they wait all year for RuPaul's Drag Race because they trained to go. We trained to remember everything that everybody has on. We're trained to remember what's going on in the episode. I say it all the time. How many times do I have notes on my review and y'all will never see me touch my notes to the end and be like, what did I forget? Then you'll see some pages flip. Can't do that no more. It's been over a fucking 100 looks after episode 4. So that means on average, it's more like, like I said, I wouldn't even count the performance numbers from episode 1 and episode 2. I wouldn't even count the performance numbers, even though that was part of the challenge because they were told to bring looks back. I won't even count that. Not even counting those. I said it was 113. 112 divided by 4 is 28 fucking looks. On average, if I average it out, that's 28 looks over the course of 4 episodes. Each episode was at least 28 looks. Doing an average. 28.25 to be exact. And yeah, I did that in my head. 28.25 looks on average. Not counting episode 1, episode 2 performance outfits, which technically should count, but I'm not even going to count them. And they should count. And that makes it 125. Which means if that makes it 125, well, now what we got here is 120. Divide that by 4. That's 525. That's 30. 31. 31.25. So somewhere between 28.25 and 31.25 outfits per episode. And don't even look at it as I'm reviewing it. Look at it as you watching it. Look at it as you watching that. And see if you watch anything for 90 minutes and retain a third of it. It's the reason why filmmakers get paid a lot of money. So the product is advanced. It's also a reason why you have so many goddamn YouTube channels that'll break down Easter eggs and this and this and this. Because you'll watch some shit and be like, damn, I forgot that happened. Your attention span as a human being is not to sit there and remember something that happened for 90 minutes. So understand that if I'm telling you it averages between 28.25 and 31.25 outfits per episode for the 4 episodes that we've watched out of 90 minutes. Now take into account that 60 of those minutes are spent on something else. 15 of those minutes is commercials. 45 of them minutes is arguing about dance steps or arguing about the challenge or actually watching the acting challenge. Or introducing the guest judge and RuPaul's Drag Race, the guest judge, and them deliberating and they doing they talking. Because that's where the other minutes is at. Straight up and down, that's where the other minutes is at. So you're averaging about a minute a look that you can actually retain. You would have to be fucking Doogie Howser fucking IQ level to retain that. I have a high IQ and I wouldn't be able to retain that. You gotta be a fucking genius to do that shit. Mensa motherfucker to do that shit. That's why so many actors graduate from Ivy Leagues and shit like that. Who the fuck is remember all their lines for an hour and a half? They're not. Because some of them scenes they ain't in. And some of them, they got a good general idea. Then when you make the money, you ain't even got to do that. I memorize a scene by scene. I got the part cool. You don't audition by doing your part all the way through the fucking movie. The mathematics, nigga, check the mathematics. The show is on for 90 minutes. The actual show is only about 60. And if we've got on average 28.25 and 31.5, on average, I know not every episode, but on average, depending on if you count episode 1 and 2 performance outfits or not. But in any case, 28.25 or 31.25. And you have 30 minutes to process them outfits. You don't even got 2 minutes a piece to process them to fucking remember them. You don't. And that's why sometimes y'all watch some shit and be like, I don't even remember. Listen to any reviewer. Unless they got pictures sitting on their phone, any reviewer will completely forget what the fuck somebody had on. That's why you starting to get that 1-2 punch of reviewers like that. Because somebody else, well, what did they have on? You just seen on every review you seen with 2 people. Somebody say, well, what did that person have on? Because it's too much going on. Now, if the whole show was 90 minutes and it was just those runways and it wasn't shit else, you might be able to review it. Because you would have about 5 minutes a person to remember what they had on. It's why when somebody is fucking safe, you don't really remember what they had on because they had the least amount of time on stage. So when somebody is safe, you damn sure gonna forget about what 1 or 2 of them have on. Or you gonna be foggy about it. Where's the lie? Somebody gonna be safe and you gonna be like, well, shit. You gonna remember what the 2 people that had on that lip sync for their life. Because they were on stage the longest. So you'll remember the people that lip sync. You'll remember what they had on. You'll remember what the other person in the bottom had on. They had the next most amount of time. You will not remember. Y'all can't tell me right now the 6 people that was safe. Y'all couldn't tell me right now if I put money on it and y'all didn't have to Google it. Y'all couldn't tell me what all 6 of the safe people had on right now. Y'all would forget somebody out of 1 of the 3 looks they had on. You would. It's too much to retain in too little of amount of time. Yeah, we remember what Aiden had on because it was terrible. We remember what the bottoms had on. First of all, because they stuck out for being bad. Second of all, because they were on stage the most amount of time. You'll remember what the 3 best people had on. They stood out. They were the best. They also were on stage the most amount of time. The 6 people that were safe, y'all don't remember everything they had on. Really think about that to yourself. And some of y'all don't watch my review and everything. And right now, at this time of night, y'all can't tell me what the 6 people that was safe, that's 18, that's half of them. Y'all can't tell me all 3 looks they had on. Not in great detail. You can't tell me what their makeup looked like, their hair looked like, what color shoes they had on, what the style of the shoe was. You can't. A couple you will. And I'll do you one better. Y'all done already erased what the fuck Allison had on anyway, because y'all don't even think about her. Y'all couldn't tell me the 5. And you know how I know that you couldn't? Because I can't. And I took notes. I recorded my review twice of what these people had on. I watched Untucked. I watched other people's reviews. And I can't tell you everything they had on. I'm trying to think about it right now. I remember the sports looks. I don't remember the basketball wives looks. Because that was kind of a basic category anyway. I feel like Logo was more about the drag. RuPaul's Drag Race was more about the reality show. Did that make any sense? RuPaul's Drag Race was more about the drag. I mean, the rig was in there too. Make no mistake. But RuPaul's Drag Race then, they didn't even have 90 minutes. But it was more about the drag. It was an hour. And the runway. First of all, okay, let me break this down so it can forever be broke. First of all, we as human beings, and especially in this internet age, but we as human beings anyway, your attention span is not set to spend 2 hours on anything. 90 minutes is hard enough. So when we had an hour of RuPaul's Drag Race, and yeah, the runway and everything might have been half the episode, it might have still been 30 minutes, but then we was going right into 30 minutes of Untucked, and then we're looking at the girls that are safe longer on that. So everybody's looks is getting equal time, because now the safe girls, we're looking at them in Untucked longer than the people that were the tops and the bottoms. Equal amount of time. But even then, after 90 minutes, by the time 90 minutes is over, okay, I'm ready to move on. I spent a lot of time paying attention to this. Now the whole episode is 90 minutes. And honestly, some of them episodes is stretched to 90 minutes. Y'all know it. That was one thing I liked about Dragula. They did have what we call the mirror moments, and they did have those. But unless it was really detrimental, it wasn't super manufactured. Now, Dragula now is a little bit more manufactured, but the manufacturing is more about just going to each girl and like, well, talk to me about your look. And that even helps you. Well, talk to me about your look. That would be like their extra time. Well, talk to me about your look. Well, you're giving me the concept, and then I see it come to life. The focus is on your look. The focus is on your performance. RuPaul's Drag Race, the focus is on the drama and then the look. Not saying I don't want to hear your backstory, but in these first 4 episodes, where was that super impactful backstory that sounds completely different than anything you've ever heard? I'll tell you, the most impactful one that I heard was Nikki Doll talking about like what it's like being gay in France, and Jackie Cox talking about how like you could still get killed for being gay in Iran. But also you have to realize we're in a 24-hour news cycle. It's important, but I already knew that. I know you want to do the hard hitting and say what's important, but none of this shit has been anything we haven't heard already. Even I was so proud when I watched the pit stop when it was Acid Betty and Bob the Drag Queen. But the way when they said it, which is the way that I always say it, but she was saying, Bob Drag Queen was saying about the No Soul Challenge. But I say it all the time. Y'all could say this is season 12, but this is also season 12 and 4 seasons of All Stars. We've been seeing this shit for 16 seasons, man. It's become so much about the look. It was supposed to be top 5 was the ball. Top 5 was the ball forever. Yeah, let's get to the nitty gritty. Give me 3 looks in one time. We at the end now. Give me 3 fucking looks and make one. And this is the category. If y'all ever think about season 1, they had to make all that shit. Season 1, it was the top 4 was the ball, and they had to make all 4 looks to fit into the category. They had to make all 4. They could use what they already had, but they had to make all 4. And that particular challenge was the absolute flavors. Somebody was orange, lemon, lime, and raspberry. So you got your flavor, you got your little mini challenge. Somebody got to pick their flavor first, whatever. Here's all the fabrics. And they set out the same way they do with the ball. But it was a shit ton of orange stuff, a shit ton of yellow shit, a shit ton of green shit, a shit ton of red shit, basically all the same shit. But it was all kind of different random shit, some of which was like day fruit, but it would be like feathers and this and this and this and this and this. They didn't have the fabric wall then, but they had several different fabrics set out for those 4 colors that they can use. Now, if you just happen to have something to match your shit, you can use your own clothes if you got something. But you didn't know what the top 4 challenge was. You were just supposed to bring in some shit. So that was dope if you just happen to have a goddamn green pantsuit in your goddamn luggage. But if you didn't, you had to make that shit work. And that was more interesting. It was 4 people with 3 different looks, and they had to come up with all 3 on the spot. Now it's 12 motherfuckers, bring your own shit, and then come with this. Come on, man. And I'm going to keep it a buck. I love the sports, the Lady Baller runway. But there were some things that were predictable about it. Jackie Cox wore exactly what I was expecting everybody to wear. I'm like, oh, so you're just going to get a sequin football jersey, a sequin basketball jersey, a sequin jersey dress. That's what you're going to do? Because what else do you do? Cute, but basketball wives is a category that was literally going to be some people could just pull something off their drag closet. It looked fancy, it looked expensive. I guarantee you half the people that had them looks was already looks they had. And if you were going to tie that in, I appreciate that Leslie Jones was the judge for that, because that's a well-known fact about her. I mean, she's a tall girl. It's a well-known fact about her. She actually got into comedy because she had got a scholarship to play basketball and her knee went out. So good judge for that. But where is the VH1 tie-in? You did a ball challenge where it was basketball wives, and y'all have had 2 guest judges at the same time. You didn't want to go get one basketball wives, or at least a Real Housewife of Atlanta or something. The next week's acting challenge is Gay's Anatomy. So they can literally just have store-bought shit on, because it's going to be like pencil skirts and slacks and blouses. I get a bring the look list. I do. But I don't know. I don't know. If it ain't obvious this become too goddamn look based when we've seen more looks in 4 episodes than we used to see in a whole goddamn season of 12 episodes. No, don't only have 10 queens a season. Quit making all these goddamn look challenges at the beginning. You want to do a spring and fall runway, and you don't want to send nobody home the first 2 episodes? Well, then you need to have everybody together and say nobody's going home this episode. And then what you need to do is when you do spring/fall runway, you need to do that when it's about 10 girls, not when they're having entrance looks too. You need to do that when it's about 10 girls, and you need to go back to the back gaze when the ball was the top 5. Well, we don't know what they luggage is anymore, because there is no way you're going to sit here and tell me it's still 50 pounds with all the looks that they've had to do in the first 4 episodes. They've increased that. They've had to have. They would have had to have increased that. Because on other seasons where they said, well, you can only have 50 pounds, they've already ran through 50 pounds of shit. Easy. Because they didn't all each ran through as many costumes that would go up all the way to episode 7 or 8. If each episode is a costume, so you got what you come in with and your runway for that. So that's 2. We actually got 5. Then you got the next episode. That was cool. That was regular. And then this episode where everybody had to have 36. They had to at least have brought 2. This should be the episode. This should be the end of episode 7, as many looks as we've seen from them. It's the end of episode 4. Unless you're full-fledged planning for a double elimination, and if y'all was, well, that should have been goddamn week 3. We let 2 people say somebody getting double eliminated. And we still haven't gotten the, oh, we're going to bring somebody back twist. Because if you really think about that, you let 2 people stay, and if there's not a double elimination, I mean, what's your episode order? Maybe it's not 12 this time. Yeah, let me walk with that too. That's because y'all done already packed up the ones that wouldn't fucking carry on. Don't fucking fool me. Don't fucking fool me. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Because I do need to get some semblance of fucking sleep. I still gotta do the untucked. Like I said, the untucked video. This is an experiment. I tried to make it a Patreon exclusive. I ain't got that many Patreons, but I was like, damn, like a third of y'all ain't watch it. Like, what was the point of me doing this for 5 people to watch it? So this week, they'll have the opportunity to watch it first, and then I'll post it either Thursday or Friday before the episode. And after that, well, then I'll just shoot it the next day, like I usually do, you know. All good. But I know I'm about to try to quarantine myself, and I ain't about to have nothing but time. It ain't gonna be tonight, but I gotta do some cleaning because I'm tired of sleeping on my goddamn couch. At first, it was for practical reasons. It ain't practical no more. I gotta clean some of this drag race shit off of my bed. So thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna roll out, and y'all keep it greasy. This is.